The old diary lay on the dusty dresser, its leather cover cracked and faded, whispering tales of forgotten sorrows. Thomas, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs, carefully opened the brittle pages. The air in the room grew heavy, thick with the scent of mildew and something else, ... something acrid, like burnt sugar and fear. The handwriting, elegant yet frantic, spoke of a family once vibrant, now lost to the shadows. The Evans, once a picture of prosperity and joy, had been slowly consumed by a creeping darkness. The diary chronicled the gradual decay, the subtle shifts in behavior, the hushed arguments that echoed through the grand halls. The children, one entry read, the ink smudged as if tears had fallen upon the page, their eyes have changed. They watch me with a knowingness that chills me to the bone. Another entry spoke of strange rituals performed in the dead of night, of whispered incantations and flickering candles that cast dancing shadows on the walls. The writer, presumably Mrs. Evans, described a growing sense of dread, a feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. The diary revealed the existence of an ancient artifact, a dark mirror said to possess the power to grant wishes, but at a terrible cost. The Evans, in their desperation, had sought its aid, unaware of the malevolent entity that dwelled within its depths. As Thomas turned the pages, he felt a coldness seeping into his bones, a sense of being drawn into the diary's dark embrace. The words on the page seemed to writhe and twist, forming disturbing images in his mind. He saw glimpses of the twins, their eyes glowing with an unholy light, their faces contorted in grotesque smiles. The final entry, scrawled in haste, spoke of the fire, the inferno that had consumed the mansion and the Evans family. But it also hinted at something more, something that had survived the flames, something that still lurked within the shadows of the forgotten mansion. They are not gone, the final words screamed. They are waiting, watching, their hunger insatiable. As Thomas closed the diary, a sense of dread washed over him. He felt the weight of the Evans curse, the malevolent presence that still lingered within the mansion's walls. He knew then that he had stumbled upon something far more sinister than he could have ever imagined, a darkness that would forever haunt his soul. The air crackled with an unseen energy as Thomas, his heart pounding like a war drum, crept towards the open doorway. The whispers, once faint and distant, now echoed with a chilling clarity. A chorus of voices speaking in a tongue that twisted and writhed in his ears like venomous snakes. Inside the room, the twins stood silhouetted against the flickering candlelight, their forms elongated and distorted, casting grotesque shadows that danced upon the walls. Their eyes, once human, now burned with an unholy light, twin embers glowing in the darkness. They moved with an unnatural grace, their bodies swaying and contorting in a macabre dance, their lips moving in silent incantations. The air grew thick with a cloying sweetness, the scent of decay and something else, ... something ancient and malevolent. As Thomas watched, transfixed by a horror he could scarcely comprehend, the twins turned, their eyes locking onto his. A chilling smile spread across their faces, revealing rows of sharp, pointed teeth that gleamed in the dim light. They spoke, their voices a discordant symphony of whispers and growls, a language that clawed at Thomas's mind, filling it with images of unspeakable horrors. They spoke of the dark mirror of the entity that dwelled within its depths, of the pact they had made, the price they had paid. They spoke of their hunger, their insatiable craving for life, for flesh, for souls. They spoke of their plans, their desire to spread their darkness beyond the walls of the mansion, to consume the world in their unholy embrace. Thomas felt a coldness seeping into his bones, a sense of dread that threatened to consume him whole. He knew then that he was not facing human beings, but something far more ancient, far more terrifying. The twins lunged, their forms blurring into a whirlwind of shadows and claws. Thomas stumbled back, his mind reeling, his body screaming in protest. He turned and fled, his footsteps echoing through the empty halls, the twins' laughter ringing in his ears like a death knell. He burst through the doors of the mansion, the night air biting at his skin, the moon casting long, ominous shadows. He ran, his lungs burning, his heart pounding, the image of the twins' eyes burned into his mind. He never looked back, but he knew they were coming, their hunger driving them forward, their presence a stain upon the night. He knew that he could never escape them, that the encounter with the twins had sealed his fate, that he was now a part of their dark and terrifying world.